What's going on, people? Welcome back to Nick J. Francis' channel once again. Arsenal have just been knocked out of the Europa League round of 16. Again, history repeats itself once more, and we are out of the Europa League at the hands of Sporting the Club de Portugal. And we definitely should have won that game. I actually feel I'm frustrated because I do feel like, obviously I want to win every game. I want to win trophies. The dream of doing a league and cup double is huge. Like there's so many opportunities this season. We've been playing unbelievable football, but we've now got one game a week to go and secure the title. That's going to be not necessarily the spin. The spin isn't the right word. That's going to be the positive. There's a lot of positives to take from the game as well. Obviously, the performance towards the end specifically. Going into extra time, I thought we were really, really good. Their goalkeeper's man of the match. There's talk of, I'm out, for those of you that don't know, I'm out in Dubai at the moment with Expressions. So if you want to see what we're getting up to out here, go and check out my Instagram, at Nick J. Francis, same as the YouTube channel name. But I was saying to him, they need to go and get this goalkeeper to replace Hugo Lloris, because he was saving everything. He was everywhere. He wasn't amazing in the penalty shootout. He saved one penalty. Obviously, Ramsdale saved 0. But in that last extra time, it was so clutch that he was saving all the headers. He was coming from corners. He was very, very aggressive. He made that save for Trossard right at the end. So he's definitely man of the match, 100%, and it's not close. We played the much better football. If we can keep playing football like that, utilising the squad, going into games like Crystal Palace, we should be super confident. I'm still nervous about going and playing City at the Etihad, but everybody else I'm pretty confident about. We even me and X sat here and watched the penalties, and we were guessing who was going to score and who wasn't. We got basically every single one right. We knew all the Arsenal players that stepped up. We were very confident, this guy's going to bag, this guy's going to bag, this guy's going to bag. And then when Martinelli stepped up, we both knew, we both kind of looked at each other, and, he wasn't nervous because obviously he don't care. But, we both kind of knew the energy was a little bit shaky. We did have Xhaka there. We did have... Obviously, we started Jorginho, and he obviously came off. We had Partey there. So we had other players that could potentially take that penalty, but it is what it is. When things don't go your way, you're always going to turn around and say, oh, we could have done this different, we could have done that different. It just is what it is. But now we have to really, really focus. The rival fans are going to get on our back about this. We're going to hold the banner. We've gone out of the trophy. We've gone out of a cup. We've missed out on the trophy. That's fine. But we can't allow this to derail us now. Like I said, there's a lot from a footballing perspective. There's a lot of positives to take to go into the next game. If we play exactly like that against Crystal Palace, we should be able to get by them. And Manchester City do not have a league game this weekend. So it's a real big opportunity for us to go and extend our lead and put a lot of pressure on them, because then they still have to go and play Liverpool, who knows what can happen with Liverpool? Who knows what Liverpool's going to turn up? So we have to take this opportunity now to extend this lead as far as we can, and just obviously focus on the league. I think we've got 10 or 11 games left. I think it's 11 games left, and it is a very winnable situation. So we have to, not for us as fans, it's going to hurt, but, we're on to bigger and better things. Do you know what I mean? We'll be back in the Champions League next year. That's all but pretty much confirmed. So we'll be done with this Europa League business, period. It would have been nice to win, but it's not essential. What's really essential is that we go and secure the league title. Do you know what I mean? Now we're out of the Europa League, we've all been making excuses and kind of giving ourselves caveats for if we don't win the league. Well, this happened and that happened. And, we're giving ourselves little excuses, because we don't want to hold all the banter from rival fans. But right now, we're adding more pressure to ourselves to go and win this league, because now we have not a fully fit team, but we have a pretty good squad depth, and we have more than enough to get through the last 11 games and, go and win the vast majority of these games. Like I say, City, I'm a little bit nervous about still, I can't lie, because we just can't buy a win against City. Their style of football, it's like Pep knows Arteta too well, and we really, really struggle against City. But basically everybody else, I'm very, very confident about. And I actually think it's a case of City is more likely to drop points than us. Do you know what I mean? City will drop points against some stupid teams, and we do have the squad. We actually have a very good squad. This is our best opportunity to win the league for, 19 years. It will be, next year will be 20 years of no league title. So it's huge. So this game, it is frustrating, very, very frustrating. At the beginning, we started very, very lethargic. We were sloppy. And I don't know how much of that was down to Sporting, because it was the same last week when we played Sporting as well. We started off very, very sloppily, and I think that they set up to make up. They pressed us really well. They sat off at the right time. I've got to say, if I'm honest, away from obviously being an Arsenal fan, I've been hugely impressed with what I've seen from Sporting over the last couple of games. Apart from the dirtiness, I mean, there were so many fouls, and some of the fouls were really horrific. Numbers wise, it's 10 we committed 10 fouls, they committed 13, so it's not a big difference. But if you see the nature of the fouls that we're committing, which are really small, silly fouls, and the nature of the fouls they're committing, which are big, dirty challenges where there's no ball involved, this referee is well known for being quite strict. And to me, he wasn't strict enough today. You know, there was a lot of the game that he wasn't controlling. Obviously, the Agate got sent off late, but there could have been a couple other sending offs, if I'm totally honest with you. And that's going to be another narrative. People are going to say, oh, you know, we lost to 10 men Sporting, but he went off super late. They went ultra defensive and ground the game out. So, do you know what I'm saying? It happens. But, you know, again, they managed to get out of the game. He's the only player that got carded. We actually got 3 yellow cards. Looking at that game, how the hell did we get out of that game with 3 yellow cards and they got out of the game with 1 yellow card? That doesn't make any sense to me. It's ridiculous. Well, maybe these stats are wrong, because obviously my man got 2 yellow cards for the red card, so I don't really know what's going on with there with those stats. But yeah, man, it's very frustrating. But like I said, we're on to bigger and better things. We can't worry too much about this. Another problem is going to be Aaron Ramsdale's sort of mentality. Obviously, he let in a bit of a, not a horror goal, it was a perfectly struck shot. I was seeing loads of people on Twitter. I was getting messages from my boys talking about, you know, Ramsdale and how sloppy Ramsdale is and stuff like that. And it was sloppy, don't get me wrong. You know, he's on the edge of his box when he shouldn't be. But that was a great goal. That was a great strike. And for that to be the goal that kept them in this title race, that kept them in this cup tie, and then for them to go on and win it, you know, that player is an absolute hero for them. Like I said, I've just been so impressed with them. But we had more than enough passes, possession. They made it as difficult as possible, and we just weren't able to overcome the test. I don't feel like we played at our best both days. You could definitely see that this is not the priority. Yes, he bought on the big guns late, and yes, rival fans are going to jump on that and say, you know, you bought on Odegaard, you bought on Saka, you bought on all these players, and you couldn't beat Sporting. But you can clearly see we've left it till the 60th, 70th minute to start playing football, and we're not taking it particularly seriously, especially at their ground. We didn't take this seriously at all. Very sloppy. We're not seeing Arteta run up and down shouting at people when they're making misplaced passes. He's not bothered. We're clearly focused on the league. And that being said, we have to go and win the league right now. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been backing us all season and saying, you know, if we don't win the league, it's not a banter thing. You know, we're overachieving, etc. But if we can beat Palace and we can have 10 games left, 8 points ahead, no other competitions that we're playing, and remember, City are through, they've got other games to play, then, you know, I think that we're going to be open for banter, to be honest with you. We could really bring this situation on ourselves, because if we can get into that position, provided we beat Palace, we will be in pole position to win the league. We beat Palace, I think we go on and win the league. That's, you know what I'm saying? I say that's my prediction. Obviously, I've been saying this for a few weeks, but we're running out of, do you know what it is for us as fans? We're running out of excuses. That's what it is. We've got little not big excuses. We've got little background excuses. We've got little caveats just in case things don't work out the way that we want them to. And we're running out of the excuses. You know, we're in the Europa League and we've got injuries, and then suddenly everyone's coming back fit and we're out of the Europa League. We've got no other competitions to play. We can just focus all of our energy on this. And if we can rotate our players correctly, because there are some players that are playing at the moment that aren't necessarily fully fit, that are carrying knocks and stuff, but if Arteta can rotate this team correctly and bring in the right players at the right time for this team, we can see this league out. And if we do see this league out and we win the league, oh my, I'll be insufferable. I'm already insufferable. X thinks I'm insufferable, or as it is, yeah, but he's seen nothing yet, because I'm telling you, if we win this league, bruv, oh my days. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't even know what I'll do, bruv. I really don't, but scary times, bruv. Very scary times. I'm nervous. I was nervous through that game. I couldn't sit down for the penalty shootout. The players deserve a trophy. In my opinion, these players this season deserve some form of trophy. If these players do not win a trophy, it's an injustice. And the only trophy they can win now is the Premier League. I know this is meant to be about Arsenal versus Sporting, but obviously the big news is still the Premier League right now. And the way that we've played, Arteta himself and so many, I'm not going to list the players who'll be here all night, but Arteta and some of these players really deserve to win a trophy. I know in sports there's no such thing as deserve, but they really do deserve to win a trophy. I really do believe that. So hopefully we can get it over the line. We have more than enough to go and win these next 11 games. So all eyes are on Palace, and I'll be back. I actually am going to miss the game because I'm going to be flying back from Dubai with X at that particular moment. When the game's on, I'm going to be in the air. But obviously, as soon as I land, I'm going to try and get highlights, try and get a video out as quickly as possible, and yeah, just keep it going. Do you know what I'm saying? So like, comment, subscribe. Let me know.
We're ordering Nando's tonight, blood. It's my man. Just know, blood. You man lost to 10 men, blood. 10 men, fam. Man want to talk to me about, oh, you man lost to Sporting when we topped the Champions League group, blood. You see Swole Campbell, that walking Maltesers, best of enemies. I am cooking him, blood. Listen, yeah, that t-shirt's way too tight for you to be interrupting me. That t-shirt's way too tight for this brother to be interrupting me, blood. Man's wearing a black condom. Man wearing a black condom on his torso. You want to chat to me about winning the league? Shut up.
This is my channel, you know. This is my channel, you know. This is my channel. Bro, this is the only thing our clubs have in common, innit? We both lost it. You know, I'm gonna edit you out anyway, blood. You stay there, blood.
Because you want the views.
I'll edit you out anyway, blood. And I'll tag you, blood. I'll edit you out and tag you, bruv. You know the ones there. It's peak, blood. See you, man, next time.